All right, episode 233. I can't believe I have that many of these now. I'm with Peter Krausch from Collision Services Network. He's here with me today to talk about the automotive industry, how his company is helping combat car insurance companies and their exploitative business tactics, as well as a little bit of automotive history, both in Long Island and in and around the country. Peter, welcome to Backpacking America. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks a lot for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity, to speak to your listeners out there and see if we can enlighten some more people about a very benign subject.
Well, I don't think it's too benign, especially once you get hit by a car.
Yeah.
So, everyone's been paying, myself included, we pay really high rates for our cars, especially because most of the listenership here is between the age of 18 to 35. So our premiums start to dip around when we hit 25. And it's naturally a subject of interest. I had a friend of mine, he got into an accident a few months ago, and the insurance company was really bearing down on him. And unfortunately, he did take pictures of his car and did send them to the insurance company. So I know that, from your show, Crash Course Radio and podcast, that's every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. on LI News Radio. You talk about this a lot, why you shouldn't send pictures of your vehicle after an accident. But can you explain for my listeners here, why shouldn't the people, when they get into an accident, send pictures to the insurance company?
Yeah, so absolutely, man, no problem. Yeah, and especially if you for the younger folk out there, not like me, the old farts. But it's true though. It's so true because when you're 18 to 30, your priorities are a lot different. You're not thinking about, but it's very important that people understand. I like to talk about when I relate to the insurance aspect of what we discuss. I like to remind people that it's a product, right? It's no different than you buying a car or buying a tool or something like that. You're buying a commodity, right, or something. So insurance is a commodity, right? It's a service commodity. You're buying that with the expectation that, hey, if you have a jam, these guys are going to be there and they're going to get you, all put back together. So I think for younger people, that's probably an important angle for them to look at it from. Not just that, hey, you pay this money every month. The insurance comes because somebody told you need to get insurance, so you can't drive.
Well, what's something that people should look out for at my age? Because a lot of people will just go for the cheapest rate and the least amount of coverage in order to save money.
Correct.
So
right. So there are pitfalls in that, right? You have the Progressives out there, the Geicos out there, the National Generals, these different insurance companies. They're discount insurance companies, and that's how the industry has changed. And I know you're going to hit on that today about the industry as a whole. But yeah, I mean, for the younger people out there and everything, you want to be very careful because with insurance, unfortunately, it is a lot about what you pay for is what you get. It really is. And if you're going to go with a discount insurance company, understand that that's exactly what you got. They're discounting your rate off the market, right? So if the market for collision and physical damage insurance is $1,600 a year, these other guys are going to give it to you at a discounted rate. Sounds great, looks good, feels good in your wallet, but guess what, man? If you have to use them, you might be a little disappointed.
Now, but here's the thing, so when it comes to taking pictures of the vehicle, why
Right.
shouldn't someone do that? Because I know that you've said in the past that, there's you could get extra money from the claim if you actually take it to a
Yes.
body shop.
Correct. So anytime you take pictures, insurance companies are all about saving money. Bottom line. They do that probably more efficiently than many other businesses. They're always looking for ways to cut costs where, when, and often. All right, and that starts the minute we file a claim. So what I tell people is the last thing you want to do is take photos of your damaged car and forward those to your insurance company. If not for anything else, it's a privacy matter. Anything that you hand over to those guys, they take possession of.
And they could use it for
They
their own
take
business
possession of it.
purposes.
It becomes a permanent part of your file. It becomes a permanent part of the claim. It can be subpoenaed. It can be
wow.
investigated. It can be researched. It can be used as a comparative tool against other similar claims. So, understand that when you do that, you're surrendering a lot more than just the damage on your vehicle. You're surrendering your privacy, right? Your right to confidentiality.
So what are my legal rights when it comes to this?
Once you send those photos up, not much.
Wow. So
probably none.
So say when I get into an accident, and I call my insurance company and they say, "Oh, well, can you send us pictures?" If I say no, what's going to happen if I say no?
So there is absolutely no obligation within the insurance policy with regard to you having to comply with them when it comes to sending photo of your damaged vehicle. Absolutely none. All you have to do is, it does say that you have to make the car available for them to see during normal business hours, excluding weekends and holidays. So there's nothing in there that stipulates to you having to send photos of your damaged vehicle. This started to become an issue for the insurance companies. Why? Because they found it was a great way to cut costs. Right? They don't have to send they don't have to fucking hire people. Excuse me.
Don't worry, you're not on radio. You can say fuck.
No, all right. So we can really cut these guys up on.
You can say it's fucking bullshit and they're assholes, man. I don't care.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's it. I mean, they're a bunch of jerk offs, all right? Because they want to cut costs and save money, but they're not passing that on to us. When was the last time your premium went down? Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. During COVID, they made so much money they gave minimal rebates, right? A little bit of money everybody got back, $100 or whatever. So your premiums are never going down, folks. They're never going down. They're going up now because of inflation and everything. You didn't even have an accident, right? So people need to understand this, that insurance companies are all about data and money, all right? And both of those things you're contributing to, all right? And you don't need to do that, all right? The insurance companies do that on their own. They don't need you helping them. You do not want to send photos of your damaged car.
That's why
you want to.
Well, that's why it's, if you're a man, you're under 25, if you have a red car, and especially a red sports car, your premium's going to get through the roof, even if you buy the most minimum of minimum, and it's all based on this bullshit data. And it's like, not for nothing, if I have a red Camaro, I'm going to drive the same way I drive my Altima. I mean, I'm not going to cut up on the freeway. So if anything, it's discriminatory too, because it's saying that women are better drivers. I'm not going to lie. I've been in the car with women. That's taking my life in my fucking hands, dude. I think that should be in reversed.
Isn't that reverse sexism? I mean, everybody likes to crow today about this and that and the other thing. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's a little. But that's always been an uphill battle. I mean, they have all these actuarials that they hire and these statisticians, mathematicians, and they're supposed to figure this all out. I want to get back to the photo thing, though, for your listeners.
Sure.
All right, for your followers here, because you raised a really good point. It's the younger people that really need to hear this, right? Because I'm old, man. I'm 60. I'm an old fart. Right? I grew up in the 70s, and I'm like a dinosaur. So I kind of get it. So and for that reason, we really want the younger generations to understand what's going on here. It's not all kumbaya. It's not, I'm going to be nice, insurance companies. Folks, I got news for you. Listen, you heard it here first. The insurance company is not your friend. Okay? They're not your friend. Look at them as the police coming to your house. They're not your friend. Insurance company is not your friend. They're running a business. All right? They want to save money. They want to pay you the least amount of effing money that they can pay you, just so they can turn around and tell a judge, hey, we paid the claim.
And then there was actually a car.
Understand that.
There was a car you posted on your social media. You made a cool video, and it showed a car that was quoted for guys. The car was quoted at total damages of $4,000. The guy, because he took it to Peter's shop, which is an independent body shop, the guy got $11,000. $11,000 because the pictures. If he just took the pictures, he would have been. Actually, he did send in the pictures. He was quoted at $4,000. Yeah, but there was $11,000 of damages to his car.
Bingo. Great option. Great thing to bring up, Anthony. Absolutely. Yes, we did that video. I forgot about that. And I showed everybody, folks, this car came into my shop, and this is what they wanted to pay the guy. All right? It's asinine. And people don't get this. And then you go to a body shop like mine, state-of-the-art facility, and you look at me, you go, here you go. And I'm like, well, this isn't anywhere near the money that's needed to fix your car. So really, what did they do? They screwed you.
Yep.
They screwed you out of money, and they figured, this guy doesn't give a shit, and he ends up going away and taking the money. Then we made out.
And that's the sad part about all of this.
Yes.
It's really the sad part.
It's all bullshit, and you do not, folks. Look, I really, Anthony, I love what you said about the younger people, because you got to understand something, guys. The insurance company's not your friend. I worked there. I worked for them for almost 30 years. I sat through more insurance seminars and more powwows with upper management, middle management about how we're gonna do this and that and the other thing, and it was all about what?
Money.
Not even money. So they're not your friend, folks. Just remember that. And sending in photos is only hurting you. All right, you're not being given the full amount of the claim, which means they're not fulfilling the promise in the contract. They're ripping you off.
So explain how Collision Services Network, differs from the standard insurance practice, and how you're going to help, young people like me and even older folks save money and get protected.
Right. So what we do at Collision Services Network is we say, hey, there's a different way to do this, right?
Mm.
There's an alternative. You don't have to only listen to the insurance companies. And for that matter, you don't have to listen to the effing body shops either, guys. Because, Anthony, no shit. The body shops, they're not your friend either.
Yeah.
There's a news flash. You just heard it first right here on Backpack in America, all right? The body shops are not your friends, folks. You go into a body shop, you know what that guy's going to do? He's going to give you bullshit. He's going to tell you, fix that car for X amount of dollars because he wants the job.
Exactly.
And then he gets the car in, and guess what? He puts the screws to you.
I got screwed in a body shop when my camshaft sensor went, and I had to replace it. I was replacing it in the middle of a blizzard. I couldn't get the damn thing all the way, so I had it towed to my house. Tried fixing it again. I towed it to the body shop, and they charged me $192 to just shove it in with a little more force than I was applying, and they rotated my tires, in quotes. And that's what they did. In fact, people hate body shops and mechanics so much sometimes. There was a song put out by the Dead Kennedys called "Kill Your Mechanic," or "Dead Mechanic," or something like that. So
there you go.
People don't. They're not your friend either.
Listen. Look, I don't want the young folks out there to get the wrong impression. I'm not trying to say that these people are enemies of the state here.
Oh,
but
no.
They're all involved in the business, okay? And as a business entity, they want to save money. So the insurance companies are turning around and they're like, oh, yeah, send us photos and we're going to help you out. No, they're not helping. They're helping themselves out. That's why they want to do that, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Because by getting your photos, they're controlling the claim. They're controlling what you do with your own car, where you bring it, where you get it fixed, right? Because they're hoping you're going to go down the road and forget about it and just pocket the measly money they gave you. Or if it ends up in a body shop, they're hoping that you listen to them and you take it to their shop, okay? Which is like basically doing the whole thing all over again, right? It's helping the insurance company. So bottom line is here, you have no obligation whatsoever, okay, to comply with that request. When they say, well, send us photos of your car. Nah, that's okay. Folks, and let me just tell you listeners this, all right? This drives me absolutely apeshit too, all right? They pay people good money, people like me that did that job for years. They pay people very good money, and those people have very, very intense training. They're highly trained people, all right? They went to years of schooling and continuing education, very high-paying, high-quality jobs. Well, guess what? Every time you send photos of your car in, they lay a person off.
Really?
You're contributing to somebody losing their job. It's asinine. It's asinine. You got to stop. Everybody's got to stop.
Well, it's kind of like the AI thing too. The more you use AI, the more you're enabling the demise of your own industry. I mean, I don't think people.
Absolutely.
I don't think they'll be able to replace mechanics per se, but I will say that the electric vehicle push is a little concerning to the whole industry. and car culture in general, which is something I kind of want to flip to. First off, I don't know if I could ever see an electric vehicle pull up to a car meet and not get laughed out of the parking lot. I personally think they look like pussy mobiles.
Yeah, they don't do shit for me either.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they're ugly. They have no character.
Dude, did you see the electric Mustang?
Yeah, it's horrible.
What the fuck
Does it
is
look
that?
anything like a Mustang?
It looks like a bean. What the fuck? I mean, they had such a good opportunity to bring back the 66 Camaro and the 67 Camaro, and they say, nah, you know what the kids are going to love? A fucking bean. That's what they're going to drive. They're going to love it.
Well, but I don't know. I mean, because some of the younger generations, when I grew up, a car was an extension of who you were. It was an extension of your personality, right? A car was like part of the family, really. I mean, it was an American thing. I mean, so everybody had their own car. You had the Pontiac, you had the Buick, you had Ford, you had Chevy, you had Chrysler, you had Oldsmobile, right? You had you had the Grand National in 1985, right? The Buick Grand National. You had the Monte Carlo SS. These cars all said something about the person that was driving, right?
Or if you were suicidal, you'd get a Ford Pinto.
A Ford Pinto, yeah. Ford Pinto. Hey, my cousin had one. We used to drive up and down Middle Country Road, lock up the emergency brake. You could pull the emergency brake straight up, doing like 70, and it would lock the whole car. It was hysterical. How stupid were we too? Because if we got rear-ended, if we got rear-ended, the car would have pulled up. We were just with ass backwards. I want to go back. I want to just say, can I just say one more thing about the photos?
Yeah, of course.
All right, great. Okay, so another thing I really want people to understand, all right, because if somebody out there is scratching their head right now, like, this guy's an old fart and everything, he doesn't know what he's talking about, it's a new castrati, it's a new world. Folks, listen to me. And this ought to be the great equalizer, Anthony, right here. Fine, you want to send photos into your damaged car, you want to help the insurance guys out, no problem. But guess what? That $1,000 deductible that you told them you didn't care about paying, $1,000, right? When you took out your insurance policy, you said, I got no problem. Give me $1,000 deductible. It helps me with my premium. You know what we say in the industry, Anthony?
What?
High deductibles, you know what? They save you a little bit of money on your premium, and they cost you a lot of effing money when you got to have a claim.
Really?
So if you want to send in photos of your damaged car, folks, don't come crawling into me or any of the other shops on the Collision Services Network or any independent shop and ask the guy to help you.
Because you already screwed yourself.
How do you expect to be helped?
Now, has the insurance industry? This has always been the way they operated too, even in the even though you don't have pictures now, right? So back in the 70s and the 80s, right? Obviously we didn't have cell phones. You weren't going to mail in fucking pictures off a 35 millimeter, or an 8 millimeter, excuse me. But what was a similar type of subtle way of screwing someone in the insurance industry before cell phones?
Well, so I started in the mid-'80s, right? I used Polaroid. That's how far back I go. I was using Polaroids.
Nice. Classic.
That's funny, right?
Classic. I can see you with the big-ass thing.
Yeah. Holy shit, these people that are listening to, they're going to be like, this fucking guy, Polaroid. No, but seriously, what they operated, guess what? They had hundreds of drive-ins. Drive-in inspection centers. Yep, that were connected to the claims offices.
Oh.
So if your car was drivable, guess what they told you? Hey, it's drivable. Bring it on down. We'll have one of our adjusters look at it right here in the garage. So that was kind of an early form of that, right? Controlling the claim again, getting a look at your car before it ended up going somewhere.
So they had someone that wasn't a mechanic looking at the car and just giving like a ballpark estimate as long as it was a low estimate.
No, they'd have somebody like me, a licensed adjuster. Although back then we weren't licensed, we just we worked under the corporate license. So we were just trained.
But how would they find a way to screw you? So to me at face value from what you're saying, it sounds like pretty convenient, right? Like what's the downside to it? How would they screw you?
Well, the downside is it's almost like sending pictures only in reverse, right? It's actually worse, I guess, in a way, because you bring the car down to the inspection center, right, which was a claim office, and they'd have a garage. Mm-hmm. Some of them were 1 bay, 2 bay, 3 bay, and they would schedule appointments every half an hour. You bring the car in. Okay, what happened, Mr. Jones? I got hit in the front. Great. I'm going to write an adjustment on it for you and give you an estimate and everything. So now you hand them the estimate. You hand them a dopey check. Right? Here you go. Here's your estimate and check for $1,500. Meanwhile, now listen to this, everybody out there. Okay, wake up. Okay, listen up. Meanwhile, the estimate you just wrote, you knew that it was grossly underwritten, and that's speaking for me. I wrote all those cards, and I knew that I wasn't writing the car right.
So what was your?
But it didn't matter.
What made you get out of that? Like, what was your epiphany that said? Did you have an epiphany that was like, this is wrong? What, I'm doing something horrible? Like, what was your, what was your realization?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, look, the company I ended up with at the end was very good. USAA was a great company. I really had no qualms with them, and they were very employee focused, and it was also it's what you call a niche company. Okay, remember we were talking about discount insurance companies? Mm-hmm. Well, USAA was like a Nationwide or a Chubb or anything like that. So there was only a certain target market of people that could become insured through that. So for that reason, we were more concerned about the actual welfare of the insured. So they were a little better than the rest of the lot. For me, I just got tired of it. I mean, I just wasn't moving up the ladder, and I was doing the same thing. And I held many positions in an industry over 30 years. I was a bodily injury rep. I was a third party liability. I was a general liability, slip and fall guy, arbitration guy. So I did a lot of different things. I wore a lot of hats, and I think for me it was just time to move on and do something different.
I can understand that, and it seems to take a toll.
And let me say, hold on, because you okay?
Go for it.
Yeah, because you're very good at. So you asked me like what specifically?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, technology.
Okay. Technology.
Now your younger folks out there are going to be like, okay. Technology is what helped force me out the door.
Really?
Because the job got so onerous. I mean, you couldn't. I think you mentioned earlier, Anthony, right, about AI?
Yes.
Okay. So AI is becoming increasingly more of a functionality within the scope of what I did for a living. And what I mean by that is they were actually getting to a point where they were trying to replace the human being with artificial intelligence for my job.
I see. So they were trying to computerize everything.
Wow. I mean, to the point that a machine was going to basically scrutinize my estimates, and then based on whatever bullshit they loaded into this machine's head, figure out whether or not my estimate was accurate, not accurate, and stuff like that. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
So then why am I even here?
Well, yeah, but not only that, but it made your life a living hell, because now they rely on that. It would generate a report, and then everybody's up your ass with a flashlight. So really,
my mom had something similar when she worked for she worked in the court system, and everything was getting computerized, and she left right before she had to learn all that crap. But when computers were first introduced into the workforce, I do remember hearing stories about that. My dad even used to have he used to be in telecommunications before Verizon was a thing. And then once all the big corporations came, it was harder to compete and all that. So that's, it's very interesting. And this is something I want people that my age that are listening to understand. Peter and our parents that are Peter's age are living proof of like every 20 fucking years, there's some major technological shift that throws the wheels on everything. So,
Correct. And listen, I want you listeners to understand something. I'm not one of these guys. My wife, for example, right now, my wife is like anti all this stuff. I'm not anti that. I see the good. In fact, so related to the insurance and the auto body industry. So what it did for us initially, though, was it drastically enhanced our ability to do our job quicker, all right, and more accurately. So that was great, right? We were like, wow, we got laptops, and they made a program. It used to take me, just to write one car, it would take me an hour and a half. I'd have to use these crash books, which were written books with parts in there and part numbers, and I'd have to manually adjust everything for overlap. it was a very, very, very arduous task. All right. Now computers came along and they were able to put everything into software, and we were like, wow, this is great. You know, we can write more estimates, and we can write them quicker, which meant less time. But you know, so I don't mean to demonize technology for the positive things.
Right.
But as far as insurance in the auto body industry, but unfortunately, you know, the insurance company. I want to go back to that again. What did I say earlier? Right? They look for ways to cut costs one way and often, and you know, these guys, they just grasped right onto that. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Within a matter of probably 10 years, they were shoving all kinds of shit down our throat. Some of the shit didn't even work. They just didn't give a shit. They were like running out there, you know. They would do pilot programs for a month somewhere in the middle of nowhere and say, oh, it's great, and then roll it out across the country. They were just gasping for air over this shit. Why? Because they were going to be able to crunch numbers like they never could. They were going to be able to look at shit that they could never look at, right? They were going to be able to scrutinize and everything, and they were going to be able to deduct money. They would be able to deduct money from people's settlements because they were able to locate shit all over the country, use shit, aftermarket, recondition crap, all kinds of, whatever kind of shit they could dig up now, they were going to be able to. Whereas before, if they couldn't find it locally, they couldn't use it.
Wow.
Right? So now they're able to find this shit all over the place, and they just load all this crap onto your estimate. Used door handle over at Tricky Dick's up in Minnesota, a rusted out door shell from New Jersey. It's amazing. So that was the bad part of the technology. You know, and people should understand that. You know, that's what goes on today, folks. They are sourcing parts from all over the place.
And it could be of varying quality. Wow, that's actually disturbing. I didn't know that you could get like rusted out.
Yep.
Wow. You see, this is like a common thing too. Like a lot of, and this plays into like the larger scope of like my generation's way of thinking, where it's like, you know, everyone's got beef with like the major corporations because it's just not an honest living or an honest way of doing business. I think that's everyone's big gripe is that corporations and employers, they're just not doing the honest and right thing half the time. And they really need to change that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. But I wish people would understand that with insurance, though, you're paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks. Every time you pay your premium, the monies that you're paying, which are thousands upon thousands of dollars, all right, year over year. Well, within that money that you're paying are these different things, all right, that they're supposed to provide for you. So they're supposed to provide for an adjuster to look at your car, not off your photos. Right? They're supposed to, your expectation is that if you have a problem or you have a loss, the insurance company is going to be there and they're going to pay you money. That's what they do. They don't make
what's
widgets,
the solution?
They don't solve world hunger.
What's the solution? What's the solution, and how can your company be the solution? Like, what sets you apart?
Well, so that's a great question. And the answer is that people need to realize what's really going on here. They need to understand. See, the insurance companies don't explain that. They don't give a shit. They don't want ignorant. I like to say ignorance is not bliss in the insurance and the auto body side, right? The dumber you are, the more ignorant you are. Hey, the better. The body shop guy can rip you off. He can tell you he did this, that, and the other thing, send you down the road. Meanwhile, you didn't do shit, and your car's going to fall apart in 2 years. And the insurance company, they turn around and they pat you on the back and say, "Hey, we're here to help you out." No, they're not. They're here to screw you. So, what Collision Services Network is doing most effectively is we're educating people, right? We're informing people, we're educating people through our dynamic website, which I'm so psyched out of my mind about, because it's just going to be phenomenal. We're going to have call to action buttons. It's going to be streamlined. You're going to be able to get help right away on a whole host of things. So, and what we're doing is we're helping to push back against that. Right? We're helping to push back by reaching people, informing them, educating them, so that they know what their rights and expectations are, so they have the information they need to make the right decisions.
So, and what you do is you have like a whole network of businesses that you put on your website. And yes. So talk a little bit about that. How can businesses hop on and support, and what do they get in return?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've done for the consumer, right, for you and me, is we go out and we reach out to body shops that are independent guys. That they're not associate folks. That when we say independent, we mean it. All right, so they have no relationship with the insurance company, notwithstanding the fact that they have to negotiate and work with them and everything like that. But they don't do any work for them. They don't sign any contracts with them. So we look for these type of businesses, and then we add them to our network. All right, and our network is very dynamic, and it represents some of the best guys out there. These folks are customer warriors. All right, they're going to look out for you and not the insurance guys. And most importantly, they're going to fix your car the right way. They're going to fix it for you. So on that network, we partnered up with auto body and collision facilities, personal injury attorneys. Folks, let me tell you, man, let me just tell you listeners this, all right? When it comes to, and no pun intended here with this one, although you could make a hell of a joke out of this, but big isn't better when it comes to law firms. Okay? It might be something with something else, but it is with the law firm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jokes
Right.
you can't make on radio.
Exactly, right.
Oh,
so
man.
we tell people big isn't better, man. We want to go with the firms that are gonna walk the walk with you. They're not gonna hand you off to some newbie out of law school and stuff like that. And then we have insurance brokers. Right, these folks are independent brokers. They're not wed to anybody. They're not doing the bidding of Allstate or State Farm or Progressive. They can find the right people, the right companies for you at the right price. So, we're real psyched about it. We've been at it for about 3.5 years, and we've helped a lot of folks. We help folks with their actual claim. We've helped folks get a better return on their claim. Help them with liability issues to make sure that they get a fair shake and that the liability is determined fairly.
Nice.
So there's a lot of things through Collision Service Network that we're able to do. And that, in turn, it helps the consumer because we're pushing back against the insurance model, which is a good thing for people. It's a good thing because otherwise it's a monopoly.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like we've seen
monopolies suck.
We've seen what monopolies have done too. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
And
horrible.
Again, like this whole small business pushback has been something in the making for the last 10 years. And I think what you're doing is essential work, especially because, like I said, I mean, when I look at the rates that I have to pay every 6 months, it's just like,
right.
This is for what? I mean, like, I don't even want this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not even fair because, like, there's states where you don't have to have any auto body insurance, and for the vast majority of people my age, fortunately my car doesn't have a lot of miles on it and it is an older vehicle, right. But a lot of us have shit boxes that are going to fall apart in the next 2 years, and we have to spend the price of another shit box every year, so we're really buying 2 shit boxes a year for the price of one. It's not fair. Yeah. It's not fair. I mean, it's New York State for you, it's just
I mean, liability, right? So if you're driving a shit box, then you're probably going to put liability insurance, right? Because you have to have that as a minimum to be on the road. But again, whether it's a shit box or whether it's an S580 Mercedes, the same principles apply here, right? You want to make sure that you're getting a fair shake. So if you're just putting liability, if you're saying a lot of your listeners are driving shit boxes, that's fine. Shit box, I drove a lot of shit boxes, boy, in my day, all right? But here's the thing, though, all right? You still want to be protected, but you don't want to get ripped off.
Yeah.
So, folks, you want to make sure that you're paying for what you need, all right? And also, God forbid, you want to make sure that you're paying for, the right amount of coverage, too. But you want to get a fair shake and a fair price. So you're absolutely right. So even though you're not insuring a brand new car or anything like that, it's still your car, and you're still protecting yourself against liability that you might harm or damage somebody else. And you want to make sure that that's priced right. And if you go to collisionservicenetwork.com, and we have DKM Risk Management Partners on there. They are a huge independent brokerage. They're gonna shop around. They're gonna get you the best rates, all right, and the best coverage. All right, and that's the other thing too. Is the body shops that we put on there. Again, I can't stress this enough. They don't work with or for the insurance company. Right, so if a problem comes up, you got it. Hey, check this out. So you're a young person. You're listening to me, right? Be honest with yourself. All right, if you're having your car fixed at a insurance company shop, right? They told you, you got to bring your car over there to Big Barry, and he's going to help you out and do the right thing. Well, guess what? Now you go over and there's a problem with the paint, or there's a problem with the part, or maybe it's taken too long. You got to be honest with yourself here. Is that person, are they going to be willing to get in the trenches and stand up for you?
Probably not. I mean, I'd rather go to the guy I've been seeing since I started driving.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay too. That's okay. I mean, if you have a relationship with somebody already, but just make sure that they don't have a relationship with the any insurance company. I don't give a shit that it's not yours, because I get that too. Well, I went over there, but my insurance company was Geico, and he does work for Allstate and State Farm. I don't give a shit. He's still working with the insurance company, so guess what? That's his mindset.
He's gonna fight for them. Then, I understand what you're saying. So you want to make sure that.
Yeah.
So how do you find out a body shop is not affiliated with an insurance company?
Collision Service Network.
I
All
see.
of our body shops are not affiliated with insurance companies.
So where can people find primarily, like, where Collision Services Network company's located?
You can go to collisionservicenetwork.com, or you can give us a call. It's 631-451-2569. You can speak to me, and we can set you up directly and point you in the right direction. Wherever you are on Long Island,
Cool.
we can take care. We got somebody that can take care of you.
That's groovy, man. So
Yeah.
where can the people find you and listen to your show on the radio?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on 103.9 Tuesday afternoons, 3 to 4. It's a live show, so people can call in. They can win stuff. You know that.
Yeah, I only board opted for a year.
Yeah, Anthony's the best.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you over there, but yeah, it's a fun show.
Man.
We try and have fun with it, right? I mean, you were there for the whole time from the beginning with me.
Guys, we gave out a lot of shit.
Show. Yeah, I usually like to have a question of the day, and people can call in. They can be part of the show if they want to call in with an issue that they're dealing with, or an insurance company. We can help them out. A body shop, folks. Let me just say this. All right, we've been harping a lot on the insurance things, but I can't stress enough. The body shop business, because I know you'd said in the beginning of the program that you wanted to talk like how the industry's changed. Folks, the auto body industry, you think I'm a dinosaur? That's a dinosaur industry. Okay?
How so?
So the shops might look different from when I started in the 80s, all right? They might actually look really fancy and clean now, but the same bullshit's still going on. All right? The same bullshit, folks. Smoke and mirrors, man. If ever there was an industry that embraced smoke and mirrors, it's the auto body industry. All right? And I'm serious. I really am. Trying to help the folks out there right now. Guys, I can't stress it enough. You just can't rely on any body shop. You can't rely on, Uncle Vito or something telling you, Big Bones over there, he's been fixing our cars. Folks, the way cars are today, I can't stress it. If you're just going to bring it to the round-the-block auto body that's been fixing cars since 1979, you could be in for a shocker, all right? And what we mean by smoke and mirrors, Anthony, is quite simply just what it is. You will never know truly what that guy did to your car.
Yeah.
Now, yes,
really won't.
He does have to give you an invoice, according to New York State. He has to give you an invoice showing exactly what he did. But here's the thing, all right? Are you going to be able to evaluate how he did it?
No, of course not.
Right? If he tells you, I fixed the doors, I fixed your fender, I put the new light in, I made an adjustment, great.
How'd you do it?
How'd you fix it? Well, I banged it out and I put plastic on. Fantastic. Right? But you don't know how he put the plastic on. You don't know how well he worked the metal.
Once it's damaged, it's damaged.
And you don't even know. And some of these guys will lie right to your face. They'll tell you they replaced this, that, and the other thing. And they didn't.
Yeah.
They zip-tied it all up, all the undershields. They're zip-tied. I've seen cars that come to our place. All the undershields are all zip-tied up and they're plastic welded.
Jesus Christ. See, like, I could do that in my house.
What?
I could do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking it to you for a reason.
It's all jiggy rigged, and so this is what I mean. So that's the smoke and mirror industry, right?
I believe it.
Your car, the guy, they had a kid with a garden hose, wash it off, put a little soap and water on it, right? They buff it up. They polish up the windshield. They stick it in the sun. It's all gleaming. Looks great. Wow, looks great. Meanwhile, it was put together with Elmer's glue and a bunch of plastic.
You know, it reminds me of a story. My mom
Yeah.
had a Sentra and it was recalled back when they first came out, and
Okay.
it was something with the transmission, and her transmission actually blew, so they replaced it for free because there was a recall she didn't know about, and the transmission blew again. It
Oh
blew
my
again.
God.
They put a used tranny in the damn car. So
Sure.
then they had to actually like Nissan. My parent obviously they threw a fit, and then they actually gave her the transmission that was fit for the car. But at that point, she's like, I don't even want this fucking thing, you know. So now she
Yeah.
got a Toyota. So I mean, giving you a story about that, the bullshit never ends, you know. Especially like if you take it
Yeah.
to dealerships, dealerships will fuck you. Like
Yeah.
never take
Yeah.
it to a
Dealerships
dealership.
are not your friend either.
No.
Yeah. No. And I think we all know that. But it's important to stress to everyone out there that a body shop, the body shops own the saying "smoke and mirrors." All right. I mean, literally, it's smoke and mirrors. It's hysterical. So you really want to beware. All right. And especially today, I know the younger generation. You know, they may not be as married to cars as I was and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, if you're investing the money in something like that, especially if you're buying it, all right, on a certain level, I'm almost certain that they want to know if the car's getting fixed the right way, right? So it's important that you understand who's fixing your car, how they're fixing it, and why they're fixing it the way they are. All right, and if you go to a Collision Service Network shop, you're not going to have to worry about getting an answer to all those questions because the answers are all going to be the right way.
So
Right? And you got to be careful here too. Listen, I want to tell you, young folks out there, be very careful with what the insurance company promises you. Take it to our body shop. We guarantee everything. They don't guarantee shit. You know what they guarantee? They guarantee that the guy that effed up your car is going to have to fix everything again. Do you want that guy refixing what he screwed up?
no, fuck that.
No. So, just be very careful with that. All right, you really do not want to ever allow the insurance company to tell you where they have your car fixed.
Well,
Tell them where to go, and then you take your car to a Collision Service Network shop.
now say you take it to a collision services network shop, and then you get quoted for like a price that's higher than what the insurance company says. Will they accept that report and then give you the money, or will they try to like jam you up?
Right. So then what happens is our guys will contact the insurance guys and say, listen, we got so and so's car, and we need somebody to come down and make an adjustment. And our shops will make sure that somebody physically comes down that can negotiate with them to get an agreed price. Right. And the Collision Service Network shops have the professional staff, or many of them are staffed with ex-insurance people like myself, so they understand how the whole process works, how the system works. And they will engage with these people and negotiate aggressively but fairly. Okay,
Right.
and there can be a thin line there with that, but fairly, and and get the money that is necessary to put your car back on the road safely and quickly.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's really cool. See, I thought they would try to jam it up or whatever, but I had no idea that.
Well, they might. I mean, they'll listen without a doubt. I mean, they'll try and jam it in your ass at any turn they can. But
no lube, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Wait, now that costs money. That costs money, man. They're not going to give you lube. It costs money. No, but seriously though, yes, they will. That's the expectation. But that when you're with a body shop, that staff is trained, experienced. They know how to navigate that.
Wow.
Okay, they know how to negotiate effectively to still recover the money that is required to fix your car, the agreed price. So yeah, I mean that's what they're going to do, but you don't have to worry about that.
Groovy. Hey Peter, why don't you tell the people where you're from and like not where you're from, like where they could find you and all that stuff if they want more information.
Yeah. So you can find us on Instagram. All right. Thanks to my amazing social media manager, Anthony. All right. We are doing phenomenally well on that. We're really starting to connect with a lot of folks. All right. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook. Our Facebook page is amazing. I think it's one of the best Facebook pages out there.
Peter, you're making me blush.
Hey, listen. Look. I don't pull any punches. I mean, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, we showcase most of our network partners on there from time to time. Obviously, podcasts you can find it here on podcasts on Anchor, Spotify.
Crash Course Radio, everyone. Crash Course Radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Crash Course Radio. You can find it on Spotify, right, and through Anchor. YouTube, you can find a lot of pretty cool stuff there. Thanks again to Anthony. Right, we've been trying to develop that. So yeah, I mean, pretty much everywhere that everybody is where you can find Collision Services Network, and you can find Crash Course Radio. Right, you can listen to the program, and I think you did confirm that it is rerun on Sunday afternoons.
It is on Sunday afternoons. I forgot what time.
About 1 o'clock, I think you said.
No, it's 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. All right, so
Something
there you
like
go,
that.
folks.
Either 1 or 4.
4 o'clock, Yeah, so if you can't make it on a Tuesday afternoon, or if you heard a little bit of the show and you want to hear the rest, you can catch it over there on a Sunday afternoon if you're driving around. And, of course, you can, I would probably see you more toward Spotify and listen to us on the podcast.
It's on demand, folks. All you need to do is just pause it and restart it and pause it and restart it like I know everyone does at my show. So
That's right. It's a great thing. And of course, if you need to reach us, then absolutely, reach out to me. Give me a call at 631-452-2569. You can reach me at virtually every day and almost all hours of the day, right up until midnight. And I'll be more than happy to help you out, answer any questions, concerns, and point you in the right direction with respect to a reliable, trustworthy body shop, or God forbid, if you're injured, you need a top of the line 5-star personal injury attorney. We've got that too, and we've also got you covered on the insurance products as well. So we can do it all for everyone.
Awesome, man. Hey, listen, Pete, thanks for coming on the show. And for all my listeners out there, thank you for tuning into episode 233. Great having you. Like I said, we're going to be doing live streams almost every day, 5 days a week, hopefully. So make sure you tune in. I'm going to get an official time that we're going to start doing that. And, I'm going to share that on all the socials. But until then, I will catch you for 234. I'm so bad at ending these. But, yeah, bye, everyone. Have a good day.